What is good, everybody, and welcome back to another NBA 2KLab video. In this one, we'll be going over our playmaking badge tier list in NBA 2K23. Just like we do all of our tier list videos, we'll start at the bottom in the C tier with the badges that we believe provide the least impact and work our way up to the S tier to the badges that we believe provide the most impact. Now, typically we'll have other play styles and their tier list on the side, but for this video, since a lot of playmaking badges have the same effect, we're just going to keep it straightforward with the exception of just a few badges that may be better for bigs than guards. So with that being said, let's get started. Starting off, we're going with Ankle Breaker in the C tier, and with so many other playmaking badges taking priority, this badge is in the C tier because it doesn't activate very often. Unless you have Ankle Break and Takeover activated, you won't be seeing many Ankle Breakers in the first place, so that's why we have it in the C tier. Now next we have Break Starter, and as a guard it doesn't make much sense, so we have it in the C tier, but of course as a big you'll be grabbing a lot of rebounds, making this badge a necessity to throw accurate outlet passes. So for bigs it's a must-have, and we have it in the S tier. Moving on to Floor General, and we have this badge in the C tier since there are so many other badges to equip as a primary ball handler, but it can be a solid badge to equip for bigs to give your team a little boost. Now since bigs don't need many playmaking badges, it makes sense for them to equip it and help the team if they have enough badge points. Now we have Post Playmaker, and this is a C tier badge for all primary ball handlers. Of course it will be better for bigs, but it's a tier 3 badge for players 6'10 and up, making it tough to equip unless you're heavily invested in playmaking. Moving into the B tier for our first badge, we have Dimer, as we don't feel it should be a badge you should prioritize, but it can be a decent badge to equip if you have some extra badge points laying around to give your teammates a slight boost. We'll be running tests on this badge soon to get the results for each badge level. Next we have Killer Combos, and there's still a lot of mystery surrounding this badge, so we have it in the B tier for now, and the idea of the badge sounds great, but we've yet to find concrete results to justify this badge being any higher. Mismatch Expert is also a B tier badge, and for shorter guards it may make sense to run it to get the boost, but unless you have extra badge points laying around, it's going to be tough to equip over all the other good playmaking badges like Quick First Step, Unpluckable, and a bunch of others. Now for this next badge, I know a lot of people think this one should be higher, but we have Needle Threader in the B tier, and it feels like it works great sometimes, but it doesn't feel consistent. It's a good badge to have equipped to help your passes get through easier in certain situations, and it can also help stun out of place defenders, but the cost of equipping this badge and unlocking the higher levels of Needle Threader is very costly for an inconsistent badge. Next we have Special Delivery in the B tier, and while this badge isn't great, it can act as a dimer boost for flashy passes and of course help with alley-oops, and if you have extra playmaking badge points you could toss one in here, but this badge is also completely skippable. Now for Vice Grip, we have it in the B tier as it's a nice to have badge, but it's not entirely necessary by any means, especially as a primary ball handler. As a big though, we have it in the A tier because of the ball security factor when bringing down rebounds and catching those passes. Of course everybody loves to reach on the bigs, so this badge is obviously a little more valuable for taller players. Now we're moving into the A tier badges, and Bailout is one of my personal favorites. You only need this badge on bronze to be effective, and without it, if you ever bail out of a shot, there's a high chance for a fumble catch and or a turnover. So if you ever bail out of shots, this badge is a must-have to ensure your teammates will catch the ball more often than not. Now another A tier badge is Handles for Days, as it will greatly increase the number of dribble moves you can perform before running out of stamina. Pretty self-explanatory, but with stamina being so important this year, this badge is a must-have for primary ball handlers. For Hyperdrive, it's in the A tier since it's only one of 2 badges that can help speed up your player when dribbling. It's not the best badge, but it's definitely solid, and if you like to attack the rim, this badge should definitely be equipped. Now finally we get into the S tier badges, and we're starting with Clamp Breaker. It's in the S tier for its ability to counter the Clamps badge, and it's just going to give you much easier blow-bys in general. This is one of the best playmaking badges for any build that likes to drive to the rim, and you should have it on as high of a level as you can get it. Quick First Step is easily in the S tier as the best playmaking badge for any build that puts the ball on the floor, and that burst of speed you get from this badge is extremely beneficial to create separation from your defender. Of course, not much needs to be said about Quick First Step. Everybody tries to get this badge, and for taller players you can also unlock higher levels of this badge with post control, so it works for both bigs and guards. Now lastly we have Unpluckable in the S tier, strictly due to the glove badge being extremely OP. Having Unpluckable equipped obviously doesn't guarantee you won't get the ball stolen from you. Matter of fact, it's far from it, but if you don't have it on, don't be surprised when you're getting plucked left and right and no fouls are ever being called. This badge is a must-have. Now that covers all 16 playmaking badges, and we've done tests on almost half of the playmaking badges so far, so if you're looking for the stats or which level you should be using, you can always check them out at nba2klab.com, and we'll be updating the website as we finish these tests. Thank you guys for watching, and if you found the video helpful, don't forget to drop a like. It's Spill, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Later.